This Babylonian recipe is one of the oldest recipes in the world. It was imprinted on cuneiform tablets 3,700 years ago, and it is a recipe for creamy lamb stew. Now, most of the ingredients are things that you can get today, including meat, milk, garlic, leek, and Persian shallot, though regular shallots will do in a pinch. But one ingredient that you won't find is called risatu, and scholars still aren't even exactly sure what it is. It's likely that it was a grain, probably barley, that was mixed with a liquid to make a sort of unleavened bread. What that liquid was, or if there were any other flavorings added, that's unknown. Now, I've tried a few different ways of making it, and I think that the best one is a simple mix of barley flour, salt, and olive oil that's stirred together, formed into thin cakes, and then baked until they're dry enough to crumble. You want to leave just a few pieces of the risatu big enough to serve as croutons later on, but the rest gets crushed up and added to the stew as a thickener. Now, lamb or mutton was common in ancient Babylonian cooking, though the sheep that they used was very different from what you'll find at most stores today, because they used something called the fat tail sheep, which had, well, a fat tail. And that's the fat that would have been used in this recipe. They're really hard to find these days where I live, but they are still around in the Middle East, and their fat is prized for its rich flavor and buttery soft texture. The milk used was also probably sheep's milk, but cow's or goat's milk, which is what I used, would have also been available. I'm garnishing my finished stew with those risatu croutons and some chopped leek. The flavor of this stew is wonderfully rich without being too heavy. Now, it's hard to know if this is even close to the original version because recipe writing 3,700 years ago was little more than a list of ingredients with no quantities and very little cooking instruction, and some of the words have never actually even been translated. But if this is even a little bit like it, then it is clear that those Babylonian cooks knew exactly what they were doing. The full recipe is up on YouTube or in the Tasting History Cookbook.